Historically, conventions were the prime spot for comic art collectors to meet artists and dealers, so they could add new pieces to their galleries. But the pandemic put a temporary kibosh on pretty much every con, so it's a good time to manage online comic art auctions because they're getting a big boost.
We're rich, man! God damn! Well, come on, Tycoon, let's go party!
There are several for buyers and sellers to choose from. It just so happens that one of the top sites is run by one of the top personalities driving new investors into the medium. Marketing whiz, entrepreneur, and superfan Vincent Zurzolo is in the spotlight this week on comics and sketchy collectors. How many comic art collectors do you know that have been profiled by Forbes magazine? I can only think of one. But Vincent Zurzolo is someone who is really going places. I mean that literally. Just try doing a video call with the guy. It's kind of like being on a roller coaster because he doesn't stand still longer than a few seconds.
You see something down there, Chief?
No, I just think I'm gonna barf.
Vincent grew up in the Big Apple in the 70s and 80s. Collecting comics that he eventually started selling. He had a small, loyal, and growing customer base, but that was kicked into overdrive thanks to a fateful offer.
I want you to join me.
In 1999, Vincent merged his business with Stephen Fischler's Metropolis Collectibles in the heart of Manhattan. It didn't take them long to carve out a special niche, getting in early to become a top resource for professionally graded and certified comics. As his business grew, so did his penchant for collecting, not just comics but other things like Mego action figures, ray guns, and even an Andy Warhol.
Well, I think it's awful that people are talking like that. I think you should, stick around, prove them wrong.
But this channel is about original comic art, and yeah, he collects that too. He's got the Frank Frazetta cover to Famous Funnies number 215. The legendary artist drew just 7 covers for that iconic Buck Rogers run in the early 1950s. Vincent postponed buying a house to bring that one home, but my guess is the investment paid off.
What is it worth?
Well, the money's unimportant.
I'm afraid it's very important.
Though his cover isn't for sale, we know one of those 7 covers sold for $100,000 in 2002. Another sold for more than $500,000 in 2019. In his collection, you'll also find Gil Kane's original cover to Amazing Adventures number 11. The first to feature Beast from the X-Men covered in fur. With more than half a century of collecting art and comics between them, Vincent and Stephen made arguably their biggest contribution to our hobby thus far, when in 2007 they launched the online auction site Comic Connect. Comic Connect generates millions in sales of comics, art, and collectibles every year. While not yet moving nearly the inventory of some of the competitors, Comic Connect is learning from the shortcomings they see in the competition.
Anything you can be, I can be greater. Sooner or later, I'm greater than you.
Take for instance, some internet auction sites like eBay use a fixed end format, setting an exact time for bidding to close. This allows for last-second snipe bidding, making buyers play a guessing game on where bidding will close, instead of allowing for an informed and transparent conclusion. But even the traditional ones with live auctioneers and fair warnings can have their issues. Auctioneers have a tendency to change their cadence based on real or perceived interest in a lot. This can throw off a potential buyer who is weighing their options in the closing seconds.
$55,000 now, $50,000?
50 fucking thousand!
But on Comic Connect, when there are 3 minutes or less left in an auction, any bid that comes in resets the clock to 3 minutes, so there's no sniping and no live auctioneer variables to account for. For sellers that don't want to go the auction route, they also have a marketplace where art can be posted for sale, and while some sites use their previous sales as a big marketing tool, Vincent says they will facilitate deals with buyers and keep it completely confidential if that's what the parties want.
Well, how about a little fucking discretion here?
Comic Connect promotes their auctions by taking the art to where the collectors are. Even if you've never used the website, you've probably seen them at a convention. They're the ones with the large glass cases filled with graded comics and art. They also have a fully functioning gallery, a good place to impress a date if you're about to drop a few grand on a piece of art.
What are you doing Saturday night?
Committing suicide.
What about Friday night?
The walls are decorated both with art from their personal collections and from their consigners that you can take home. The prospect of having their own exhibition in a real Manhattan art gallery probably has a lot to do with A-list artists like J. Scott Campbell and Simon Bianchi jumping on board to sell their work through Metropolis and Comic Connect. The great thing is, Vincent and Stephen aren't the only ones benefiting from their success. The men have donated thousands of comics to worthy causes, like libraries and the military. They are also creating jobs, with around 20 employees currently, and likely more to be added if they keep growing.
I could get you in now. You love it. Nobody tells you when to go to bed. You eat all the ice cream you want.
So there you have it. The Zurzolo pathway to success. You start by finding what you love, then figure out how to make money at it. Next, find a partner and make the business bigger while marketing yourselves as the top experts in the field. Finally, listen to your customers, learn from your competitors, and never get complacent. Be sure to let me know what you think of this story in the comments, and if there's anything else you want covered. I always need story ideas. Also, be sure to like this video and subscribe. Until next time, don't break the bank, but remember, you can't take it with you, so have fun collecting.